rainforest of Indonesia in Southeast Asia, home to the orangutan, one of man's closest relatives with 97% of its genetic makeup identical to our own. Indeed, the very name orangutan means people of the forest. And as with humans, a baby orangutan for the first years of its life is totally dependent on its ever-protective mother. The mother is defense against most things, except man himself. Though the orangutan is already facing extinction and protected by international laws, poachers slaughter mothers to catch babies for a hideous but highly profitable black market trade. For the baby orangutans that survive the onslaught, this is the first step of a cruel journey, one that delivers them from their forest habitat to pet markets, circuses, unscrupulous zoos and private collections throughout the world.
A great monkey show, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, for our next trick. Hey, folks, you saw them with Clint Eastwood in Every Which Way But Loose. You liked it, huh? My show is here. Yes, puppy, take a bow. A midget in a monkey suit, but I love him anyway, little money makers and
Highly intelligent and trainable, orangutans have great popular and commercial appeal. Some of the considerable world demand for them can be met quite legally, but only through a limited supply of captive-born animals like these. Changing hands at up to £20,000 each, orangutans are precious and profitable assets. But as a hidden camera reveals backstage at the Las Vegas show, trainers demand absolute obedience to get their money's worth.
Funny, you should see the ones in a casino pulling the slot machines.
Tragically, the orangutan's very appeal has created such great demand that it can't be met by captive-born animals alone. And so it's with an eye for the main chance that poachers and international smugglers step in to make their killing.
You like it?
Orangutans are on the verge of extinction. I used to think that the only problem was the destruction of the tropical rainforest. But in the last few years, I have changed my mind. The animal trade is almost as dire in terms of putting orangutans on the brink of extinction. It's unbelievable the vast numbers of animals involved in this trade.
Inside Story took secret cameras into the shadowy world of the ape traders to unravel a plot to smuggle orangutans to Russia, expose traffic and wild-caught babies through a bogus zoo, and identify the devious tricks of a trade that can all too easily evade wildlife laws. Wild orangutans live only on 2 islands, Borneo and Sumatra in Southeast Asia. Their sale is banned by the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. CITES, as it's known, has 110 member countries, but traffickers are quick to target those countries who are not members. On the far eastern island of Taiwan, recent affluence has led to a consumer boom. An unregulated craze for designer pets pushed the street price for a smuggled orangutan as high as £2,000, a price so many were prepared to pay that the trade got out of control. In Taipei, the capital, the density of orangutans is now greater than in their natural habitat. Coming in usually by boat from Indonesia, they've been sold mainly through pet shops along with other exotic species. Many are recruited as nightlife novelties.
So originally, Romeo was supposed to go to a nightclub, and in the nightclub he was going to be used as a photographic prop. They were going to take pictures of him with nightclub patrons. If that had happened, it would have been something that he would have been doing every day, constantly. There would have been the flash from the camera. And after 6 months, 8 months, he would have developed cataracts, and he would have gone blind within likely 1 year. So some people, when they heard about it, some people, when they heard about it, donated some money to purchase him and then presented him to the foundation.
Like many in Taiwan, Mr. Lo treats his own pet orangutan just like one of the family. A craze kicked off some years ago by a popular TV show starring one of these endangered animals.
They're very appealing. They have a very human-like quality to them. Same kind of quality that an infant has. You know, big liquid brown eyes staring out at you. They're not particularly aggressive. They cling to you. They look up to you if you hold them. They're very, very appealing. They have a halo of bright red hair that looks like perhaps they were electrocuted, almost like little Einsteins. They're very appealing until, of course, they start maturing, and this is the problem that we now have in Taiwan, where orangutans, ex-pets, are literally being abandoned on street corners, in front of department stores, in the middle of Taipei.
Taipei has now been nicknamed Mad Monkey City. Lucky animals are rescued and sent to a local zoo.
We estimate anywhere between 700 and 1,000 animals are on the island right now. It's still alive. The number that have died on the way here or after arriving, we have no way of knowing. Anywhere between 5 and 6 animals die to get one animal here alive.
The Taiwan government has been forced to take action. It's now illegal to sell orangutans, and an official policy of repatriation is underway. Romeo, saved from the nightclub, and 9 others intercepted by customs, are going home, back to the forests of Indonesia. The government makes sure it's a well-publicized occasion. The 10 returning orangutans, or the Taiwan 10 as they became known to a fond press entourage, were not the world's first smuggled orangutans to travel home. That precedent was set last year after an extraordinary discovery in Bangkok, Thailand, a discovery that was eventually to reveal the truly worldwide dimensions of the ape trade. At Bangkok International Airport, cargo handlers were unloading transit luggage from Singapore routed on to Eastern Europe. From boxes marked live birds, they heard low-pitched cries and whimpers. All in all, 3 boxes were taken for examination. When the first was x-rayed, they discovered 2 rare Siamang gibbons. But in the other 2, something every bit as surprising, but more alarming. 6 baby orangutans with a potential black market value of more than £100,000. They were soon dubbed the Bangkok 6. All were weak and dehydrated. 2 were in critical condition.
It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. These crates were almost like little coffins. Just unbelievable. 6 orangutans in 2 crates like this. Just crammed in. They could barely move. And it's not surprising that under such conditions, smuggled animals have an incredibly high degree of mortality. I mean, they die like flies.
The only person so far convicted for his part in the smuggling attempt is German animal dealer Kurt Schaefer, the courier who brought the boxes through Bangkok. But he was just one of a widespread network of people in a complex and secret operation. Schaefer agreed to talk to us. Though sometimes reluctant to say too much, he insists he regrets what he did.
But I actually never saw this monkey myself. Then I heard after how in extremely bad conditions they've been and packed upside down. I felt really sorry about that. I never would touch a thing like that again.
Yeah, but you did get involved. Didn't you know how they'd be packed?
What do you mean?
I mean, you didn't realize the suffering they went through, you know, the conditions?
I never saw them. I heard that after from the papers and from the news in Bangkok, how they're being kept and extremely small packed, upside down chipped. Well, that's cruel. I mean, they look like human babies, huh? But I never realized actually that they're killing the mothers and how the cruel is what they actually do to the monkeys.